Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom. General George S. Patton said that once. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Moving Forward Leadership Podcast, episode 36, Birth of the Military Entrepreneur Tribe with Andrew O'Brien. Hey everybody, it's Scott McCarthy here, the host and founder of Moving Forward Leadership, and welcome to episode 36. Crazy, 36 episodes actually, now that I think about it and say it. But hey, here we are, nonetheless. Today is the start of something really cool and really interesting. So March will have my first theme month, and And that theme is going to be military veteran entrepreneurs and leadership lessons from them. So I got 4 great guests lined up for this month, and 2 of which are pretty well known in their individual spheres of influence. Andrew O'Brien being the kickoff guy to the month, and he's very well known within the military entrepreneur realm. With his Vetpreneur Tribe. God, I have such a hard time saying that name. But nonetheless, it's something really cool. Something I've been looking forward to for a while. We have another great guest lined up. I won't reveal too much, but let's just say this next week's guest, has probably one of the largest Facebook groups going, with over 40-something thousand people in it, which is pretty incredible. All that to say is we're doing military veteran entrepreneurs for all of March. So pretty cool. I was pretty excited when I came up with this idea and lined up the guests for it, and definitely looking forward to all of the episodes kicking off this month. So if you just heard me blab on there and you're wondering what the heck is this podcast about, that would tell me that you're new. So welcome. Welcome Moving Forward Leadership. It's pretty simple. This show is here for you to become a better leader. That's it. All right. It doesn't matter if you work small business, big business, corporate, non-corporate, non-profit, government, okay? Heck, even if you're a parent at home taking care of the kids, we all need leadership in us, and this show is all about making you a better leader wherever you are and wherever you are in life. And that's pretty much my passion and my life's calling as far as I'm concerned. So here you are. The only thing I wanted to talk about before we dive into the show today is let you know, hey, I'm here to help you and provide service to you. I'm not sure if too many people know that, but I do provide consulting services. I do provide one-on-one coaching, and I also do keynote speaking. So if you just go to movingforwardleadership.com/consulting, there you're going to find all the different services that I offer. And it's not an exhaustive list either, folks. If there's something that you think I can help you with, let me know. And I will let you know if that's something that that's the realm I'm into. So again, that's movingforwardleadership.com/consulting, or just go to movingforwardleadership.com. You'll see it at the top there, navigation bar. Okay? So let me know if I can be a help to you in your business, then let's talk. Because that's what I'm here for. All right, so let's talk about Andrew O'Brien, shall we? Warning, Andrew has probably the most interesting background I've had on the show to date. It was pretty incredible, actually, when he told me his background story. Yeah, definitely the most interesting one to date. Again, no spoilers, but let's just say he had to make a decision which most people would, probably have the most difficult time doing. And obviously he did it as well. So he joined the military, spent a number of years there, did some time overseas in Iraq, and then he came home and went through some times which he'll talk about. And then finally he decided one day, you know what, enough is enough, and he decided to start his own business. And he rose up, built his business, a very successful business at that, a marketing business, and decided one day that was not what he wanted to do anymore. He wasn't happy with what he was doing. And in turn, he basically shut it down after a while, left it, shut it down, and started Vetpreneur Tribe. And Vetpreneur Tribe's mission is to help military veteran entrepreneurs. Try to say that 5 times fast. Military veteran entrepreneurs. Anyway, so that's his whole goal now, and his whole reason and life's mission is to help us, military veteran entrepreneurs, do business better. Really neat. Anyway, before we kick off, just a reminder, if you want to check out the show notes for today's episode, just go to movingforwardleadership.com/36, and you'll find all the show notes there, including the topics, all Andrew's links and resources, especially if you're a military entrepreneur listening to this show and didn't know about Vetpreneur Tribe. Okay, definitely check it out, both the website and the Facebook group there. Okay? All right, I'm going to quiet down now and let you guys listen to my interview with Andrew O'Brien talking about the birth of the Military Entrepreneur Tribe. Hey, Andrew, brother, welcome to the Moving Forward Leadership Podcast, man. It's great to have you on here.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Super stoked. I don't want to dive in too much. One of to take away your thunder, but one of the things I like to do with all my guests is basically get a little sense of your background, your upbringing, a little bit about your story. So I know a bit about it. So why don't you take us, from wherever you want, I guess, the starting point, wherever you think is practical and applicable, and move us up to basically when you got out of the military.
Yeah, so I'll give you a 2-minute overview of my life story, and then you can just pick it apart where you want. Sound good?
I'm rocking.
All right. So prostitution, war, suicide, and murder were the 4 experiences that I went through from age of nothing to 22 years old. So I was born and raised to a prostitute mother who was not a great person. We were raised in motel rooms, trailer parks, apartments, houses, cars, you name it, we've lived there. She was a stripper and a prostitute, and I witnessed a lot of sexual transactions happen with my mother since a very young age. I ended up deciding to get away from her by joining the military. Joined the military, did 4 years in the Army, did a year in Iraq. I served as a lead gunner overseas in Iraq for my year deployment out there. I came home from war and tried to readjust, transition back into normal life, which is challenging to say the least.
Hell yeah.
And then I actually attempted to take my own life in 2010 took over 120 pills in less than 3 minutes. Luckily survived that suicide attempt. Woke up 2 days later in the ICU with this newfound appreciation and respect for life. Got out of the Army a few months after that, normal ETS state. I didn't get med boarded or anything like that. Got out, and a couple months after I got out, or a year after I got out, my mother actually murdered her husband, shot him point blank in the head while he was sleeping, later asked me to help frame his ex-wife for the murder, which I refused to. I moved away from her. Then I found out she was trying to pin the murder on my brother, so I ended up testifying against her in court, where she was sentenced to 60 years in prison.
Wow. Wow. I was like, that is not that is the craziest background I've had to date so far.
Soap opera, man.
But, I won't say it's going to be all roses and stuff, but you got something pretty cool going on right now. So let's get to that. So, you go through all that and you end up going in business and rising up to become CEO of your company. So can you talk to me a bit about that when you get the ball rolling there?
Yeah, so I did a few businesses when I got out. I tried to figure out what was right for me. And when I first got into business, I thought I just need a job to make money. So I created numerous businesses. In 2011, I started a company called Mobile Errands, which was what we know today is like Grubhub, Jackrabbit, Uber Eats. I ran errands for people.
Yeah.
And that was before the apps released. So if I would have created an app, I'd be a multi-billionaire by now, but that's okay.
Wouldn't we all though?
Right. So I got out of that business. I started another business, which was an auto detail company, mobile auto detailing, which was called Veterans Auto Detail. I only hired military veterans to work with me. I did that, made $30,000 my first few months of being in business, which is huge for a new business. But I hated it. I hated manual work. It just wasn't in me anymore. And then I started a publicity company, and my publicity company took off, and I broke 7 figures my first year in business. And it was a great experience, but I was miserable the entire time. So I made good money, but that money was making me just a miserable person. And it's not because the money it was what I was doing to get the money. It was just working with people I didn't want to work with, doing things I didn't want to do to make money. I ended up starting Vetpreneur Tribe, which is what I do now. I closed down my 7-figure company, didn't even sell it, just completely demolished it and got rid of it, and focused fully on Vetpreneur Tribe, which within 6 months is already generating a very healthy income. And I'm actually doing what I love to do. I'm the father I want to be. I'm the husband I should have been. And I'm a happy guy now.
That's amazing. So I'd just like to dive back to your time there as the CEO of your publicity company just for a little bit. Just got 2 questions there. We can move on to the tribe because that's definitely where I want to focus on. What were some of the greatest leadership lessons, being the CEO of that company?
What I really learned the most was I tried to be friends with all my employees. And that was the biggest mistake I made. Is just instead of being a leader, I tried to be a friend. And what I learned is in the military, you learn a skill set that you think just comes naturally, but it doesn't. You learn it. I would party on the weekends with my sergeants, with my leaders. But when we were at work, we weren't friends. They were my sergeant. I was the lower enlisted. They were my leader. I did what I was told to do. They would smoke me at work. It was no different. When we were on the clock, we were on the clock. But when we were at home, when we were out at bars, we were, friends. And so I try to take that mentality into the civilian world, into the publicity company, and it cost me a lot. I lost a $140,000 contract on a disgruntled employee. I lost, existing clients to disgruntled employees. People would quit and steal the clients and take them with them. They would stop doing the work. And so that was my leadership lesson, was stop trying to be a friend, be a leader first, and then teach them the skill set of separating personal life and business life.
Yeah, you're so right. And as active duty, right now, I definitely see that. And I am friendly with, my subordinates as well, because we have the same culture up here in Canada. But when it's work time, and they understand that. It's funny though, because I talk to so many civilian friends like, no, I don't deal with my coworkers outside of work. Like, no, I don't go to my boss, I don't hang with my boss ever. And you hear about it. So no, it's definitely a fine line all leaders need to, keep in mind, I think, of that, friendly and firm and friendship and, professional, right? It's such a thin line that it's easy to blur those. What was and I probably already hear it coming already, but what was the greatest challenge you had during that time in your leadership role?
The greatest challenge I had was, getting people to do what needed to be done. I've never been a micromanager. I don't like looking over people's shoulders. I like telling them this is what needs to be done and expecting it to be done. Now in the military, we were taught if I tell you to get it done, you get it done. There's no impossible. There's no it can't be done. This is how it's going to happen. If you can't figure it out, you make it happen anyways. Use some duct tape, use some clothespins, whatever you have to do, make it happen, rig it up, make it work. And so I expected that mentality to be the same in the publicity company. And so my biggest challenge was I would get frustrated because I heard all the time, no, I can't do that. Oh, it's impossible. That can't be done. That can't happen. And I hated it, man. It drove me crazy. So that was my biggest challenge as a leader, was to try and figure out how do I create that mindset with my employees to get them to actually get it done without me having to babysit or handhold to get them to show them how to do it right the first time.
I'd find actually that's even a challenge for us military guys sometimes. But no, I hear you. I much like you. I hate I hate having no handhold people. Is like, this is what I want to achieve. Go right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the end state. Let me know if you need more resources or you need different resources, and come back with a plan or a result. Right. But
right.
Yeah, I hate it. So let's I think you kind of covered on this, but let's talk about why you basically shut down shop and created the tribe, and what why you went and did that.
Yeah, being a leader at my company was a struggle, but I was even worse of a leader at home by doing the publicity company. The money was good. All right. So I was making really good money and we were living a good lifestyle. But the lifestyle didn't mean anything because I would come home stressed out all the time, pissed off. Like I would get stressed to the point of, getting styes in my eye. My body was reacting to the stress that I was going through at work. I just couldn't sleep. I'd stay up late at night, working, trying to catch up on accounts, dealing with employee stuff. Like I was a miserable human being. And it showed at home, and I couldn't be the father I was supposed to be. I couldn't be the husband I should have been. And so I decided, one morning I woke up to yet another complaint and I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I got to stop. And so that's why I decided to change my focus fully into Vetpreneur Tribe. And I quit my company without replacing my money. Like I put all my faith, I would put my financial stability, my family's financial stability at risk because that's how much I believed in the tribe and what I was doing there. And I was happy. And I thought, you know what? If I can just keep the lights on and be happy, I'll be the happiest person in the world. And now I'm doing a lot more than that.
There's, you kind of got to lead at home first before you can lead anywhere else, right?
Right.
I talk about an imaginary line where every day I go to work and one baggage gets dropped off and the other baggage gets picked up, right? So when the home baggage gets dropped off on this imaginary line, I pick up the work baggage, I go in the office, and then vice versa on the way home. But after a while, those bags get so heavy that you just can't drop them off. And then all of a sudden, both of them start affecting each other, right?
Right.
Yeah, kudos for you to actually recognize that and decide, I got to make a change in my life, because you see so many people who don't, man. And they fall apart. Everything falls apart because they don't make the change that needs to happen, right?
Yeah, and I was one of them, man. And I was just an angry person. I'm naturally short-tempered. I think it comes with the military, but that temper got a lot shorter working that business. So I had to make a change or end up being that dad that the kids have daddy issues with, and that's the last thing I want to happen.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So when you talk about some of the greatest successes from Vetpreneur Tribe that you've got going on so far, first off, how long have you been actually up and running with the tribe?
Vetpreneur Tribe launched in July. We started making sales in August. So as far as business-wise, we've been around since August. So August, September, October, November, December, January, about 7 months, 6 to 7 months that we've been actively, a true business. And in that 7 months, we've grown to over 12,000 military veteran entrepreneurs inside of that group, which is a great number in such a short amount of time. More than just the number of people in the tribe, with the engagement is insane. I mean, out of 12,000 members, there's 9,500 of them are active. And last month, I looked at the insights. We had over 83,000 comments and interactions within the group of only 12,000 military veteran entrepreneurs. So it's been an insane accomplishment, and it's really a community that's changed a lot of people's lives. It's changed my life, and I'm happy. So that's what matters. No,
and full disclosure, everybody out there, I'm a part of this group and can back up everything that he's saying. Hey, every time you go in that group, I think the really cool thing is the amount of interaction that goes on, but how much of it is constructive. Like 99.9% of the interaction there is 100% constructive. Like I don't even think I can think of a time when someone was just being an idiot someone else. Now, you own in the group. I'm sure you've probably seen a couple people or whatever.
I've seen my fair share, but we cut them out pretty quickly.
Yeah, you do, right? But overall, like, it is a super constructive group, and guys just helping out guys. It's phenomenal. So how do you see yourself now as a leader, within the whole tribe? Because it's not like a formal structure or anything like this, but, basically people are looking at you in a leadership capacity and leadership role and help guide them. So how do you see yourself there?
There's a big confusion now between leadership and guru, right? And so a lot of people, if we look at people like Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, Ty Lopez, all of these business leaders, right? They're not really business leaders. They're gurus. That's what they are. Their personal name is known as the brand. They are their brand. And for me, Vetpreneur Tribe, that was never the goal. My goal was to lead, not to be a guru. So, I just launched a new thing, which is the Vetpreneur University, and I'm not the only educator. I'm one of them, but we've got, over 10 other educators on the platform, other military veterans teaching their specific business skills to the university. And everything I do, it's not about Andrew. It's not about me. It's about we. It's about all of us growing as a community. So as a leadership, I see myself as an actual leader, not as a guru who's just trying to get my personal name known. It's more of a mission of legacy, right? I want a legacy, and I want an empire, and I want that legacy to be not Andrew O'Brien, but what Andrew O'Brien started. Not what I finished, but how I started this community that is going to last for generations to come, because we're the United States and we never stop going to war. So I never have to worry about not having veterans around.
No, and so much truth to that. I really like that whole bit about the confusion between leadership, leaders and gurus. That's really neat. I actually never even thought about it that way before, but you're so true. It's like so many people out there and they're talking about leadership, and it's just like, wait now, where's your actual experience? Right?
Right.
You got all the theory and stuff to back you up, but what have you actually applied? And that's one of the biggest things I'm trying to push here on the Moving Forward Leadership podcast sort of folks is, practical advice and examples of how you can lead yourself, lead your people to success from people who've actually been there and done it. And this is really great. So, no, man. So you got the tribe, and you got the university that's just opened up, and new people are coming in there and using that service and helping others grow. What do you see for the future for yourself? How do you see yourself leading the tribe down the road?
Well, my whole goal with Vetpreneur Tribe is for all military veterans that are even considering entrepreneurship to be part of it, right? So my goal right now in the United States is over 3 million veteran-owned businesses in the United States. And those are only the ones that classify themselves as veteran-owned, right? And I don't even do that. So not with the government. I don't do any paperwork that says I'm veteran-owned. So that's just a low number of estimate of how many military veterans there are in just in the United States. Now, obviously, Vetpreneur Tribe is military veterans. It doesn't mean that they have to be United States veterans, right? It just military veterans as a whole, for the ones that we're allies with, So the whole goal here is for the tribe to become the number one resource for all military veterans that ever consider any type of business or getting into business in any way, and becoming a resource, right? Becoming a resource that people turn to, not just to give me money, but to learn, to commute, to have that camaraderie that we all miss from active duty, from being in service, creating a community as a whole, and really taking over the business world as a military veteran population.
No, that definitely a big goal, man. I won't lie to you, but it's kind of funny. You're kind of embodying my first military guest, Canadian Colonel John Conrad, and I'll link that show up in the show notes for everybody. Oh, by the way, for the show notes, folks, go to movingforwardleadership.com/podcast/O'Brien, and that's where you're going to find all the links from today's show. But John Conrad said, "Dream big."
Yep.
And that's definitely what you're doing here for sure. And you're so right. Yeah, I've seen, I'm in there. I'm Canadian. I've seen some Brits, in there as well. I think maybe some Australians and New Zealanders kicking around the group as well. So,
yep, we don't limit it to anyone. And the biggest thing here is, what you just said is, I think most people in the world dream too small. I think they just are focusing on, what seems realistic. And to me, realistic is whatever you make it. Yes, my goal is freaking huge. And yes, it may seem impossible to other people, but I know myself. I never fail. Like, I will succeed. It's not an option for me. I can't fail. And it's not me being cocky or arrogant. That's me saying, I know myself and I never allow myself to fail. So if I have a goal, I'll hit it. Am I going to hit it tomorrow? No. Next 5 years? Probably not. But before I die, it'll become a reality.
Yeah. And that's leadership at its core right there. Having a vision and the drive and motivation to push forward and get her done. So, no, man, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Just going to actually pretty well wind her down here. I just got one last question, which I ask all my guests. And what do you think makes a great leader?
What makes a great leader is someone who puts others in front of themselves, right? When it comes to Vetpreneur Tribe, now my main goal is my family. I need to make sure that my family is fed, that the lights are on, everything like that. But I can tell you that I went from charging $9,700 a month for my service to charging $97 a month for my service, right? So it's a huge change of dollar amounts. I'm not making anywhere near what I was making before. And the reason is because I could charge a ridiculous amount of money for everything that I offer to the tribe, but the tribe, the majority of them may just be getting started. They may still have full-time jobs trying to get into business, whatever it may be, but I could try and charge the most amount of money that I could possibly see possible. Instead of doing that, I try to make everything affordable to a point, right? I can't break myself, but I try to make everything affordable because I put my tribe before me. So a great leader is someone who puts their followers, their family, whoever looks up to them, they put them before themselves. I'll tell you right now, I'm living in a 32-foot RV, 1992 model.
Oh, you got to tell the background story on this, man. This is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. So I've been chasing my dream of entrepreneurship for 5 years now. I finally found a place where I'm happy. My dream has come true. Right now, I'm never going to be content. I'm always going to have another level to go up. I'm never going to be a guy that's like, okay, I'm done. I'm happy with where I am. I'm always going to have a next step. But I'm finally chasing, my dream has come true. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm doing everything that I've ever dreamt of. And so now that my dreams come true, my wife stood by me for those 5 years that we were broke, that we were struggling, living off the Chick-fil-A coupons, living off of fast food coupons and facing foreclosure and repossessed cars. And she went through all that with me to get to where I am today. And so in exchange for her loyalty and commitment to me, I've decided the best thing for me to do as a husband and a father is to, pay for her to chase her dreams. So now me, my wife, our 3 kids, and a potbelly pig are living in a 32-foot RV motorhome, 1992 motorhome. I paid $7,500 cash for it. It breaks down every 2 days. But we are living in an RV and traveling across the country while she chases her dream of becoming a professional barrel racer, which is a sport in the rodeo. We'll actually be coming up to Canada this summer probably for some rodeos. I have no idea. She knows all that, but somewhere in Canada.
It's probably at West in like Calgary, Alberta, that range.
Right. Yeah, probably. And, but yeah, that's what we're doing now because, I've put her in front of me. Now I'd love to be living in a penthouse in downtown Austin overlooking the city, with my nice Tesla. Instead, I'm living in a 32-foot RV that's 1992 and driving a Dodge Ram pickup, which I'm not a truck guy. I'm more of a sports car. Give me something that goes fast, but I'm doing all of that because I put my family first.
That's what I like to refer to as family leadership at its finest, right? Just putting your needs aside for the right reasons at the right time to support your family. And, kudos to you. Not too many husbands out there would actually do that, which is sad to say in my point of view. And,
I can see why though.
But I shouldn't say I went through something similar, but, I had to support my wife at one point, and she ended up quitting and going back to school to chase her dream. And we're at 6.5 years since, and we're near the finish line now, right? So I'm seeing that finally we're almost done. And 4 of those years we had spent living apart, and I had to support her for one of those 4. So yeah, I hear you. It's not fun, but you do what's right for your family at the right time.
Right.
So, hey man, this is the time where I basically flip the mic over to you and let you have a shameless plug. Give yourself a little quick self promotion, and how can people reach out to you? They can find you, the tribe, and all that jazz.
Yeah, my shameless plug is if you're a military veteran from any country that doesn't hate the United States, go ahead all countries hate us. But anyways, if you're a military veteran considered an ally to the United States, come over, find us on Facebook. It's just Vetpreneur Tribe. Don't worry about the business page. Come join the Facebook group. It's over 12,000. We own literally the largest online community of military veteran entrepreneurs in the world, and it's the most engaged. If you don't get knowledge from me, you'll get it from someone else in the tribe, and it's extremely great. A lot of people have gone from zero to hero really quickly in their business because of the tribe, and I don't take credit for that. It's because of the tribe as a whole and how everybody supports each other in there. So we'd love to have you.
No, yeah, hell yeah. And hey, I served with you guys in Canada or Afghanistan. You guys are all right. For the audience out there, again, the show, all those links are in the show notes. So just simply go to movingforleadership.com/podcast/O'Brien, and you'll find all the links there for the tribe, the Facebook group, the Facebook page, the website, and to the university, as well as the store, to help support. And if you want to support veterans out there, go to the Vetpreneur Tribe store, and there's all kinds of awesome products and services there that you can try to take advantage of. All right, man. Again,
other veterans, not by me. So just so you know,
yeah,
the store is full of veterans selling their own products in there.
Yeah, for sure. So again, Andrew, man, thanks for coming out to the Moving Forward Leadership podcast and talking about your experiences and talking about the tribe. It's something really neat that it's really cool to see how your vision has gone from the ground up and now is globally reached. It's something to be pretty proud of.
Thank you. And it wouldn't happen without every person in the tribe being part of it.
All right, man. All right. Thanks for coming out, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Hope you guys liked that show. I had a lot of good time talking with Andrew there, and pretty incredible, to go from the lowest low that you could possibly imagine, i.e., basically attempting to commit suicide or getting ready to attempt to commit suicide, to full-blown on growing a business to CEO status, and then walking from it and now making this tribe and helping tens of thousands of people across the globe. Pretty incredible stuff, eh? So 3 key takeaways for everybody out there. And the first one is leadership at home affects everything, and it's so true. It's so hard for people not to take home issues to work, and even vice versa. So ultimately, our family life, our home life is the most important thing to us. So we need to make sure that we have that checked out first. We have that secure first. The family has to come first. You have to be happy first, okay? Because if none of that is well placed, well run, it's going to affect you at work, 100%. Okay. The next interesting thing was the confusion between the leader and a guru, right? And he talked about it there. And you see gurus out there all the time, and I will fully admit I've made the obvious mistake of calling myself a guru every now and then, but it's true. A lot of gurus out there don't have the true street credit and experience that people like myself do have, because we've been there, we've walked in the shoes, we've tried it, and tell people what works and what doesn't work based off the situation that they're in. So you have to keep that in mind. Be wary of that, especially when you're looking to hire people. Have they actually had this experience, or is it that they've just simply thought of this process or this plan or whatever, right? To make things work. And then finally, a leader places their people first. And It's so true. I always say I'm the reason for our mistakes, and my people are the reason for our successes, right? And that's just putting my people first in so many ways. I know a couple of minutes ago, not even a couple of minutes ago, but a minute ago, I was talking about how you need to take care of yourself first. But this is, you kind of got to see the difference here. When I'm saying you got to take care of yourself first, think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You got to make sure that you're safe, you're secure, you're well fed, you exercise, your mental health is good, your physical health is good, all that's good, right? Then you start worrying about your people and putting their needs first. So just think about it that way. I know it can be a little bit oxymoronish or hypocritical sometimes, but you have to understand this fine line, okay? But the moral of the story is, once you're done taking care of yourself first, then your people have to come first, because in the end, they're the ones that achieve what you need to be achieved on your behalf. All right, everybody. Again, I hope you enjoyed the show, and welcome to March Military Veteran Entrepreneur Month, okay? Next week, like I said, I've kind of foreshadowed, but a guy with probably the largest Facebook group going, his own podcast, and literally the biggest beard I've ever seen. Just a little foreshadowing for you. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. Remember, keep pushing, keep trying, keep moving forward. Take care now.